And that's important. You know what I mean? That's important as well, that you surround yourself by them. Y'all heard the story. If you want to be a millionaire, if you hang around four millionaires, you'll be the fifth. You got to be around what you want. You know what I mean? And that's on Alvin and the Chipmunks. Sure enough. You got to make sure that you're involved in the process of where you want to be and who you want to be with and who you want to be around. Does that make sense? Like, if you want to be successful on TikTok, then hang out on pages where people who use TikTok are at. So you can see what they do, not mimic it, not, you know what I'm saying? But you should understand the method to the madness. Like, you need to understand why a system works for other people. You know what I mean? So you could implement some of those things so that that system works for you. Most people don't, our pride and or whatever sometimes gets in the way, and we don't want to go to other people's pages. We don't want to support other people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why I hang with you. So you got to put yourself in a position where you are around those people and not be envious and not be jealous, but be supportive. I love the way Nikki supports on the official. When we went live, Nikki was just gangster with it. And I love the way she supports. I love the way she shows up. You know what I'm saying? That's one way she used her social digital currency and converted it into actual currency. And that's what I talk about in this book. I give you what you need so you can understand better what you need to be using in order to maneuver on any platform. So it's not just TikTok. I know most people have different, at least two accounts. You either have TikTok and maybe Facebook, or TikTok and LinkedIn, or TikTok and Instagram, or TikTok and YouTube. But most of us that are on TikTok have another one. ISIS, yes, in the building. So for me, I have TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and those are all necessary because they all dance and play well, and they also hold space for a different conversation. So I'll talk to you guys today, and I wanted to get on at 12:30 lunchtime. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can, during your break or whatnot, you can sit down and take a listen. But each of you should have 2 to 3. Yep, you should. What up, Jersey? You should have 2 to 3 platforms. No less than 2, but you need 3. And I'll tell you why. What up, Telepo? What you want is you want people to understand you better, right? And you don't want to have to explain it all. What up, Jersey? What up, Red Baby? You don't want to have to explain who you are all in one thing. And the reason being is because we're very fickle. We become this very compartmentalized group of people. If you're on one network, you know what I'm saying, they only want to hear or see or know you for one thing on that network. You know what I'm saying? Like on my Dwight Scrap Reynolds account, most people communicate with me and we talk about health and wellness, but we get into some deep stuff too. That's why that account gets in trouble a lot, because I'm not afraid to tote the line on the boundaries. On the official IC Green page, we have a lot of fun. I'm usually producing music while I go live, and we're battling, and we're having a lot of fun doing that. On my Instagram page, I'm more of a social bandit on my Instagram page, because it fluctuates between, I'm just a funny dude underneath it all. I like to laugh. I like to make people feel better, but it's all motivational. And then on my Instagram, it's also it's very much about, the Black experience. You know what I'm saying? You'll see me post about Martin Luther King. You'll see me posting about, Nikki Giovanni and, different Black leaders from the past or whatnot. But like I said, you also hear me tell some jokes or post some funny things. And most of the stuff I record, it happens on YouTube on Instagram first, and then I disperse it everywhere else. Now, like for today, for instance, I'm actually multicasting on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. What up, Nikki the Warrior? And so I'm also on YouTube. So YouTube is that third vehicle that will, in the future, once I balance this thing out, it will have all of the platforms on it. Real quick question. Make sure y'all check in right now. Everybody text, where you're from, because we got new people in here and I don't know where everybody's from. Aaron on the official IC Green, question for you. Can you hear that beat playing right now? Like, because I'm trying something a little different. I'm going Bluetooth to you guys. I'm going Bluetooth to you guys. And I don't see it. Let me see. You hear it good, like I was there. What up, Telepo Time is in DC. Okay, that's what's up. My brother lives in DC, right outside of it, West Churchill Falls, something like that. Pretty Eye Don, I see you. Jersey strong all day long, I see you. All right, that's what's up. So yeah, so like I said, in this multi-broadcasting to my TikTok channels, it just dawned on me that I can Bluetooth. She said I'm from Candyland. She's so sweet. Get it? I'm from Candyland, so sweet. Charlotte, North Carolina in the building. Oh, yeah. And I love to hear it, love to see it. If you're on my YouTube channel, tap in. Where y'all from, man? Make sure y'all say hello. Let me know where y'all from. So YouTube has, like I said, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And normally I broadcast on Instagram as well right now, but you know what I'm saying? I'd have to hook up a third phone, man, and I'd be doing a whole lot at that point. Jacksonville, Florida in the building, checking in during lunchtime. So what y'all gonna see me do in a minute, I'm gonna drink my apple cider vinegar that we made. If you missed it, what I did do is I put on my YouTube channel the ability for you guys to see how I made it, because I think it's important that you guys see like the process of all this kind of behind the scenes stuff. Again, this is why I wrote the book Social Digital Currency, so you can kind of look behind the curtain, so you can understand what your value is on these platforms, something to help you position yourself. So when you want to go live, when you want to show up, you know what I'm saying, it's on and popping, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you stopping in, Telepo. He said 10 minutes and back to work. I know what it is. But you got to know your value when you move around, or else you'll spend your time haphazardly. I love the fact that you guys show up and show out when you're on here, especially the official Icy Green page. My group over there is gangster with it. Like, they really, really show out and participate in, becoming bandits. And then I've got some gangsters on my Dwight Scrap Reynolds page that do the same thing and have done it consistently over the month. So it's really cool to watch how people spend their social digital currency, convert it into actual currency, and then create this trifecta of social currency. That's amazing. That diamond is what you want. You know what I'm saying? The rock, but you know what I'm saying? It's important that you know what that means. So I ended up writing a book about it. You'll see me in it. You'll hear testimonies. You'll hear conversations that I've had with Usher about it. Usher was one of the people who really put his hand on my back and said, "Yo, you got to do this." Tiffany Haddish, Grant Cardone, and a few others. And again, I outline more than just I talk about YouTube on here so that you guys can understand why YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about. I give you the breakdown. What is social digital currency? Because I know some people have no idea. This graph explains it all right here. Spend some social digital currency for a social media engagement on any social media platform with your people and persons of interest. See the diagram? This is social digital currency. You spend that so you can have a social media engagement. This is everything that matters right now. The fact that I have an idea who Rena is and who Telepo is on my account, the fact that I know who Jersey is, and get a vibe for who Deidre is and the other people that are on right now, that's what matters. That's the social media engagement that you want to create so that you can move forward and understand better who you're surrounded by. Because you never know what position a person is in, not to that you can benefit, but also can be a benefit to you. And that's not on like some financial stuff. That's on some emotional, that's on some, friendship. What up, Sonny? Yeah, I know, right? Those are the things that can be, I'm laughing at Jersey. Those are the things that can be truly beneficial to you, is the ability to lean on one another. Somebody that you're social with, this is the same as this. There's a similarity between what you do out in the general public and then what you do here on social media. Same things, but different ways to do it. It's almost like using an Apple computer and then using a Mac computer. They both want to accomplish the same things, but they have a different way of communicating. And if you don't know how to communicate on these different platforms, then you get lost in the sauce. So you absolutely want to know how to communicate. You absolutely want to know who you should be communicating with. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that you invest in that. You know what I'm saying? it's important that you invest in the relationships you're building with other people. It's so important that you get into that first and foremost. One of the things that we're put on this earth to do is give. I don't know if y'all know that. Like, one of the most important things that we are to do on this on this earth is give. I was gonna say planet, is to give. Offer yourself up at the point of you being born. Someone is giving to you from the day you were born. They're giving you, first off, they gave you life, but not only giving you life, but they gave you everything that you needed. Like, there's no greater love than when you see a baby look up at you and they look at you like you're all I got, right? And as you groom and grow your child or whatnot, they get to a point where they start returning that love and start giving back. That's what social digital currency is. Social digital currency does not require for someone to sow into you before you sow into them. And life doesn't work out like that. Have you noticed that anything that you want to do, you got to kind of put your foot forward? Guys, if you're interested in a bad chick, she ain't just going to come up to you. You're going to have to make an initiation. You know what I'm saying? You got to invest. You got to create that engagement. I wish y'all really knew the power of that word, engagement. That power of engagement suggests an action that is taken to build something, is to engage in a conversation, to engage in a relationship, to engage in intimacy, to engage in, you know what I'm saying? You should be looking and positioning yourself to engage with the people that are around you that are online. Any relationship should be value added and engaging. Absolutely. Like, your presentation to somebody should not be, hey, can you do this for me? It should be, hey, listen, is there something I can do for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there something, or I see that you do such and such. Do you need an assistant? Hey, I see you do such and such. Listen, even if you're just giving some advice, that engagement could change somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? And so in doing that, good and moral people will take that energy and they will it'll be reciprocal. Maybe not, and sometimes it doesn't happen back to you. I'm not mad at that either. But you get into the practice of giving even without receiving. You know what I'm saying? You get into the point of giving and you understand that the greatest joy you're going to have is knowing that you helped, knowing that you were a part of it, and that's out in the universe. It'll come back in other ways. So you spend some social digital currency for a social media engagement. And what I did in this book is I included any platform. So spend some SDC for an SME on any SMP. You know what I'm saying? So any social media platform. Why? Because we're multifaceted. And I spoke about this a little bit earlier, just in that we want to be a part of, we want to be a part of your life. But I also want you to see me, in different places, in different ways. I know that if I go to church with y'all, church is not your all day, everyday behavior. So let me go to the mall with you, because if I go to the mall with you, now I know how you kind of move around, how you like to shop, how you see yourself, because it's in the clothes that you identify with. It's in the stores that you go into and stuff like that. Let me go skating with you. You know what I'm saying? Now I get to see how you like to roll on the skates. I see how you like to have fun. Let me do something. You know what I'm saying? And that's what each of these platforms should be used as. You should not show up on the same platforms the same way 3 times. Now, one of the formulas out there is this, and this is based off of the attention span of the platform, if that makes sense. If there's a such thing as attention span on platforms, this is how it breaks down. On TikTok is set up more of a hit it and quit it, meaning hit them quick and then keep it moving. If you could do something, TikTok is closer to Vine than any of them in regards to creating in a short time limit and getting a maximum result. A lot of the videos that I've had that have been really, really dope are less than a minute or so. You know what I'm saying? Or about between 15 seconds to a minute, because that's what they give you. And that's awesome. Then the next thing is, being able to master that. Like, I can tell y'all something, man, and y'all may agree or disagree, but listen to this. Vine, people who mastered Vine were rock stars. Like, honestly, if you still want to be a rock star, I would not have moved away from the 6-second video. If you could still learn how to create a 6-second video, you are a rock star. Those people made cinema magic in 6 seconds with what they did on Vine. And I still go back and watch those Vines and I marvel at it because I'm also trying to borrow and I'm trying to steal. What I mean by that is this. I'm trying to understand the magic of a 6-second video, how to create it, and then I want to duplicate that format. Because if I can keep your attention for 6 seconds in such a way that it entertains you, guess what? You'll do two things. You'll either watch it again or you'll share it with somebody else. And that goes for the 6-second video. You know, that goes for all videos. But again, 6 seconds, man, it's just ginormous in the grand scheme of things. But that works out awesome for TikTok, not so much on Instagram, and absolutely not on YouTube. Jersey, thanks for the heart, love, hand heart. I appreciate that. That goes a long way on this platform. So we should probably manufacture some things that are hit them and quit them, between 0 and 15 seconds. And for the general age group that's on here, attention span is not something that they've been granted with, because a lot of the users on this platform have been groomed and grew up to the spontaneity of social media or iPads or iPhones and those things. So they switch channels so quick on TV and all that kind of stuff. Their attention is everywhere. So then the next step is Instagram. Instagram, people want to see 15 seconds to maybe a minute long. So they want the full 15 to a minute. Honestly, reels at about 30 seconds is better because the age group is a little older, and so they want to chill out a little bit. They don't want to have to flick through a whole lot of stuff, but they like that, and they share on their, it's pretty good. But I will tell you right now, before I go any further, the engagement on here is greater on this platform than any platform that exists, meaning you don't have to seek people out. They actually seek you out because of the For You page. The For You page is the greatest thing that's ever happened to social media ever. TikTok has figured out it's not about, it's about content, but a bigger role with the content is how to get it in front of people. How to introduce new people to new people. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Honestly, I just gotta be transparent. One of the greatest things that TikTok does is it places you in front of people that you never thought you'd ever be in front of. Amazing. Do you know how hard that is to do on Instagram and on YouTube? Like, if they drop the ball, that's where they drop the ball at. Like, real talk, the hardest places to be discovered are on Instagram and YouTube. Now, once you are discovered, however, that ball can roll. Like, that ball can take off. Now, will it compete with TikTok? No, it just won't. For some reason, the TikTok algorithm is off the chain. You know what I'm saying? It is by far more advanced than any other platform that I've ever been on or that I've participated in. And I watch these metrics because they matter. How many people are you reaching on a regular basis? How many people are they putting you in front of? Because most of the times, and I'll tell you what it is, Instagram got caught up in revenue over the people. TikTok, I think, manages people over the revenue, right? And when I say that, I mean this. In order to get the kind of viewership that you want on Instagram, you're going to have to pay for some advertisement. You're going to have to pay for marketing, which is like crazy because we're already on their platform, and you would think that, hey, you would want to build up some of these dynamic people that are on your platform. You would want to build up some of these dynamic voices and characters and whatnot. And it's just a slow roll to do that. And the same thing with YouTube. YouTube is a hard cookie to crack. But YouTube, just like all of these platforms, has this. Each of these platforms requires consistency. If I dial back for any of these things to be effective, any of these platforms, you have to carve out time for you to show up. You have to decide that you're going to be on these platforms and you're going to bring value to it in one way or another. There are people who bring value on TikTok from dancing. There are people who bring value on TikTok from posting memes or whatnot, where they're communicating a certain message and you can understand their viewpoint on that thing. Comedians, makeup artists, and then there's the random, frivolous stuff that you see on here, but it's all available. You know what I'm saying? And you can become synonymous with that. And that's why I say you need more than one platform, because who you are on TikTok is not who you should be completely on Instagram. and who you are on Instagram shouldn't be, who you are completely on YouTube. So YouTube is your long form content, and YouTube and Facebook are your long form content platforms. So if you are an educator, if you are a producer, if you are a builder, if you are, they're all different purposes. And if you manage them right, so they can complement each other. I'll give you guys a quick hack. When create the long form content, but as you create the long form content for YouTube, think about points in your long form content that could be great for Instagram and great for TikTok. And what that requires is it requires planning. Like if you're going to be on social media and you're going to take it seriously, it requires planning. It requires structure. And those things are, I'll be honest with you, most of us don't have that in us anyway. Like we don't have I get it. I structure this, not, my calendar looks like this and blah, 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 blah. But that's a requirement of doing business on these platforms. You have to treat it like a job in that regard, meaning you got to have, people want to know when and where they can find you. I could tell you that my viewership is higher when I'm more consistent with the time that I'm on, similar to right today. Like normally I'm on a bit earlier than that, but my clock right now is twisted because I've been working later, staying up later, and that requires, I need some sleep. So, so that's been the other challenge, you know what I'm saying? The other challenge, all right, Reed on YouTube says he's taking down notes. That's what's up. That's the homie. But it requires of some balance. And I know better. Really, I know that I need to be in bed by midnight at the latest if I'm going to join you all at 9 a.m., which was the time that I was I thought was a sweet spot to go live. You know what I'm saying? And then I have to also carve out time in the evening to produce and then show up for you guys when we get on live. What up, Rio? To come back and be on live. So create you a schedule. Sit down. Like if you really want to take this stuff seriously, if you want your social digital currency to grab you the social media engagement that you want, be there, be present. You know what I'm saying? Yep, that's it right there. YouTube YouTube is your master content, and TikTok and IG are the shorter versions of those. TikTok being the shortest version. I'm not going live yet. TikTok will be your shortest version of everything. Like I said, hit it and quit it. Now, mind you, as these platforms have grown, the lines have blurred a little bit. You can get away with some things every now and again. Also, for those of you who are looking to create content, posting schedules help. If you're not watching your analytics regularly, and here's what you do. On a daily basis, just look at how your posts are performing. If you can look at how they're performing, then you can better understand when you're going to be complimented for what you release. Even with going live, I know that in the morning time, it's more of a challenge, to go live, to have a huge viewership, and that's okay with me. It's not meant in that regard to be for everyone. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you have to go at a time that's comfortable for you and that you could be consistent at. Typically, because of the way the rest of my day goes, I have to get on here early or it doesn't happen, because life happens outside of here and I have so much other stuff to do. Even, even with spending time now, there's a schedule that I had before where I would get on at 9, go to 11. After 11, I do some chores or do whatever I need to do around the house. After that, I'm at the gym. Now my gym schedule is compromised because I got on later because I'm staying up later. So, you know what I'm saying? You understand, like, you have to be responsible, and we got to put things together so that as we progress, that we benefit the overall goal, which is to be present and consistent. Consistency wins. I don't care what you're doing. Consistency wins. You could be trying to dig your way out of jail. You know what? You got to be consistent to get out. There's a movie I absolutely love called The Count of Monte Cristo. If you have not seen it, I suggest you go watch it. It's an awesome movie filled with lessons. And things that you can take from it and post. And, I posted something from there where the statement he made was, very profound. He said, when you become who you want to become, when you do what you want to, you gain all this wealth is what it was in this instance. When you gain this wealth, do not become what you despise. Simple, right? Do not become what you despise. Do not become a hypocrite. Do not become what you despise. That's what that is. No one likes a hypocrite. Although, if y'all don't know it, being a hypocrite is part of the 48 laws of power. If you have not read that book, it is a very evil book. But if you have the wherewithal to read it and not be consumed by it, you might want to do that. But it's a very evil book. I'm gonna just tell you, like, the lessons in it, and you've seen it in plain sight. And some of you are having, have some of the methods in that book being used against you right now and don't even know it. But it's an awesome read to understand it. I remember when I was reading it, I was actually having, I recognized that somebody that I was working with was using some of these tools against me. And I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? First off, the first thing you do is the acknowledgement of it. And then after that, you're able to adjust and kind of counterbalance it. And then you gain back your wherewithal with those situations. So that was a lesson in it. But hypocrite, whether y'all know it or not, being a hypocrite is what made 50 Cent be able to demolish Ja Rule, if I took it there. If y'all remember, he admonished Ja Rule for sing rapping. Remember? What did you think about me, baby? He was clowning. He was like, he don't know what he is, a singer, da da da. And then what he come out with? As soon as he got Ja Rule up against the ropes, what he start doing? I got the majesty. You don't want to go dance. I'm in the night. You understand? That's how that 48 law of power works. But in this scenario, in this movie, he says, do not become what you despise. When you have the upper hand, do not be the person that they were to you. Now, it's not a turn the other cheek type thing, but it's a don't become what you despise. Don't be what you was. If you was clown, I don't know how y'all feel about this. I disdain anything and anyone who admonishes me for something and then turn around and do the same thing just a little bit differently, but overall they do the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, you don't want to be in that situation. You don't want to be reactive. Being reactive means you have no control over yourself. And in order to be on these platforms, like, I don't know who was here the other day, who was here yesterday. We had a troll come in. I remember his name and everything. I'm not going to mention it, but his initials was JM. And, everybody's first response is to mute, to kick them from the room or do something like that. I don't want or ever want to do that. I love communicating with people and educating people up. He had no idea what he had walked into when he came into this live. I'm sure he jumps in rooms and says whatever he says about different things. That's what it felt like. And I don't want to assume that. I'm just telling you that's what happened in our live yesterday. He came in and he was very, matter of factly, you know how people are when it's like joining a conversation. It's like a person walking to the room and say, you know what? Da, 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 da. And you be like, yo, you don't even know what we on, bro. Like, you haven't even listened enough to understand. And then for what he was talking about, I'm like, yo, I got a room full of people who have overcome this. I know Jersey will block them in a heartbeat, but I'd be like, no, don't block these people. Like, I need these people. What up, Grace? I need these people to listen and understand, because we can't change the world by shutting them out. We got to pull those people in. It's a moment. We got to bring those people to the fold. We can't send them away. You send those people away, they're going to do it to somebody else. Like, that was one of the only things and only reasons why I would stop and deal with people, is because they needed an adjustment, and you can't let people walk away, So that would be a conversation. For instance, if I was going to do a conversation on YouTube about, people's personalities and attitudes, or about that statement in the movie where it says, do not become what you despise. I know you don't. You got no tolerance for that. then I would do a long form content on YouTube, no longer than an hour. What up, Lawrence? I do a conversation on YouTube about not being a hypocrite. And then I would take sound bites from that and place it in my Instagram for 30 seconds to a minute. At the longest you can do is a minute and a half, if I'm not mistaken. And then I would have that as a sound bite that would lead you over to my YouTube. And then I'd have a shorter piece of that, to go on Instagram, on TikTok, that would basically be the highlight of this guy trying to troll me. You know what I mean? I like trolls are real. And here's an example, blah, 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 blah. And boop, you're hooked and you want to hear the rest of the story. And then you go over to YouTube. So that's how you make those play well together. Those are the bites that you take. And as you're positioning yourself to have the conversation, there are parts of it that should be leading, not scripted, but leading. For instance, usually when I go live, I kind of know what I want to talk about. I don't get locked into a script, although before, I think as of recently, maybe within the last 2 months, if you guys saw what I was doing, I was writing down things that I wanted to remember to talk about, because when you speak, like, most podcasts don't operate like this podcast. Most podcasts are very scripted, and some are time sensitive, where they say we're going to talk about this for 15 minutes and then we're going to see where that takes us, and then we're going to lead with the next thing for 15 minutes and so forth, and build it. If you ever watch the Drink Champs, you can see Nori has a list of questions that he wants to ask, and in a certain order. And you've seen him before say, no, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Hold on. We're gonna get to that. You hear him say that. Similar to the Joe Budden podcast with his guests, he also says, he'll lead into the next conversation. The guys that are with him help build the conversation and keep it entertaining. But Joe is the one who says, all right, so what do you think about this though? And then they'll go on to the next topic. Those are pretty well scripted conversations that keep them on their square. This is very organic, as Ms. Jersey pointed out. Very organic conversation that I have with y'all. It is mostly loose. The beginning and where we go from there is what I get excited about. Our conversations start off one place, and then as you guys are communicating back and forth with me, it'll usually end up in another place, which is all great places, because it's about changing your mindset. Now, as I proceed, I will absolutely be implementing formats that give us a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's only natural that we get to a place where, where we do that. Yeah, it's all relevant. Even pastors, I don't know if y'all watch pastors. I pay very close attention to my pastor at Elizabeth Baptist Church, and how pastors absolutely have an outline. Now, they don't have to stick to the outline, but they absolutely have an outline for their conversation. And once you guys recognize that, this will help all of you who want to go live. If you've never been live, create a conversation list. Meaning, so here's the last one I'm gonna give y'all. Create a list of things that you like to talk about, that you're informed about, that you're educated about, or that you're curious about. Once you have that list, take one of those topics from that list, and then go and write subtopics underneath it. Where would you start at in a conversation about, about golfing? Where does it start at? Well, you would start at the very beginning. Like, why would anybody want to golf? That's the first initial thing that you talk about, is what's in it for me? You as a viewer, what's in it for you that you might enjoy? Well, you might enjoy the solidarity. You might enjoy competing against yourself. You might enjoy those aspects of it, which to me, it seems like the only aspect that makes sense. Of course, you're competing with other people sometimes, but you know what's cool about golf is that you're always competing with yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you get into your own head mostly. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to even how you approach the putt or the drive, you know what I'm saying? You got to manage yourself. I think that's one of the things I like about that sport is you're mostly spending time in your own head as you do it. And the only one that you can affect negatively in that space is yourself. So mastery of yourself will help you become a better golf player. And it just help you in life. Like just being able to manage your thoughts and like I said, not be reactionary, but more, what up, Angela? Just be more in control. That should be a goal of everyone listening on this live right now is how do I control myself in the grand scope of how people interact with me? That's a huge part of maturity. That's a huge part of what's going to be part of your success. That's going to be a huge part of, living a stress-free life is knowing that you can only control what you can control. And those things that you can't control, you don't have to manage that way. So those are the things, what a Powerpuff. Those are things that I think are, subject and topic worthy to place underneath those topics so that you can build it out. And once you start doing that, you realize that having a conversation live is super easy. And encourage your audience to communicate back. Most times when you have a subject matter, you can have a conversation and you can discuss it, to great lengths if you're very knowledgeable about it. But one of the added ingredients to going live with other people involved is having other people involved. That's probably one of the greatest things about going live that you want to make sure is implemented in what you do. Anyway, we'll talk more about this throughout the week. I'm going to give y'all more of the tips and tricks and advice, you know what I'm saying, from this book. It's necessary because you all are billionaires. You guys have so much in resources that you have no idea what to do with. And when you have that, what up, Jenna? Jenna, I'm sorry. But when you have that much access, a lot of times people don't know what to do with it. Y'all heard of stories of people winning the lottery and amassing all this wealth and then going broke. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to that. You will gas out on all of these platforms if you don't understand the value you have, how to spend it, what you should be looking for in return, or what should be being built. It just becomes redundant at some point. So we'll get more into it. I think we'll dive more into social digital currency and build that out so you guys can understand better how to use that. Of course, we'll stay on our health and wellness on Dwight Scrap Reynolds and do our thing on the official IC Green. So with that being said, I'm going to go, I'm going to drink my drink. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all be ready for it. So I'm going to drink my apple cider vinegar. Woo! You just feel it traveling all through your body. Excuse me. So what I told y'all before too, that's how you drink it. You drink it straight down. You know what I'm saying? And I can feel it as this is the first thing my body is taking. I can feel it going through my system. And within the next 30 minutes to an hour, I will be in the bathroom. Like I know my body and how this works for my body so much. If you don't know what I'm talking about or what I just drank, it is available on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ICGREEN1. That's IC Green 1. Subscribe to it now so you can go watch those videos and more. We are broadcasting live on YouTube right now. And I will, this video will be uploaded as well so you can see what this video was about if you missed it. What up, Betty Bats? But I'm going to tune off of here. I'm going to jump back on the official IC Green and we're going to get to it for a little bit. And that's that, folks. All right. This is not goodbye. This is to be continued. I hope you got some motivation from today. I hope you feel a little fired up and ready to get to the business of the business. You know what I'm saying? If so, get to it. We start off this Monday like this, brothers and sisters, with your bad self. All right, I'm out, y'all. To be continued. Uh-huh. With your bad self, baby. Yep.
I think you have some anger issues, buddy.
This area, dude.
This guy.
1, 2. Yeah. Say it loud. Brothers and sisters. Yo, I had to drop and come back. Mika. Yo, I had to drop, stop, and roll. I had to come back, you know what I'm saying? If we've only just began to shine. Oh. I'ma cook up something while we waiting. I'ma cook. What up, Kim? Kim Petrol in the house. Cook up.